Okay, we're still here at the York, Pennsylvania SAR Machine Gun Show, and Glenn Wittenberger, the Vice President of the Thompson Collectors Association, is going to give us a little tour of their fantastic display, and I'll just pan down and show you what I mean by fantastic display. What do you have, about 25 guns in here?
There are 22 live firearms and about 6 dummies over in the corner.
Okay, you got them in an original Russian Thompson crate?
Correct, that's a 10-gun case. It would be 2 layers of 5.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there are basically 2 types of Thompsons. There's a 21-28 that accepts the drum and has the actuator on the top. Some have the Lyman flip-up sight, some don't. The other basic style of Thompson is the M1 or M1A1, which has the cocking lever on the far side. And there are several different types of sights for the M1. The basic 4 recoil systems, starting out with the original Colt 21, and then the 21-28 Navy, to a 28, to an M1, and then a fixed firing pin of the M1A1. Those are the 4 basic recoil systems of a Thompson.
Oh, very good. I never knew that.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can edit all this stuff out.
Yeah, keep going.
One of the other oddities is when they went to a riveted forearm strap, it weakened it. When they went from a solid mill to a weakened, they had to come up with a band to reinforce because the GIs were breaking the forearms off their vertical or horizontal stock firearms. Sorry. Moving on down, we've got a collection of 21s, 28s, and again, the 21s and 28s will accept the drum. It has the drum slots, where the M1 and M1A1s, they eliminated those slots. The 21s and 28s will accept either a 50 or a 100-round drum, and we have those down the line. I shouldn't have said that now, but you can edit it out. Here's a prime example of a Colt, what we call a 28 Navy overstamp. It has the second system in it. It has the Lyman rear sight. It can, of course, it's a top cocker, and it can accept 20, 30-round sticks, 50, or 100-round drums. And this was its original configuration with what we call the vertical foregrip.
That's a beautiful gun.
Yes, it is. The value of that's probably $35,000 to $40,000 in that condition in today's market.
Was it in a police department? Is that what that PD means?
Yes, correct. That was the Colorado Springs Police Department. Is where that came from. It was one of 4 guns. I'm sorry. It was one of 4 guns that came out of the Colorado Springs Police Department.
Cool.
Moving on down the line, there's an example of an M1 right next to a 28, and again you can see the difference: side cocker, top cock on the actuator. In the background, there's some British 20-round cans for Thompson drums, and now we're into the 50 and 100-round drums that I was telling you that the 21s and 28s will accept. Those are, and how they're loaded with ammunition.
Wind up like a clock, don't they?
Yes, correct. You put all the ammunition in there, and then cock it, or turn the cocking lever either 9 to 11 clicks on a 50 and 11 to 15 on a 100-round drum. So it spins all these out and feeds from a single position on the top.
You can't do 10 clicks.
You'll run out of it. If you do 10 clicks, you're going to run out of spring force, and you're going to get a jam about halfway through. It will not allow that tension. There's a very rare thing. It was in trucks and Jeeps where it closed up, it locked. Anybody in the vehicle needed a mag, and ripped it down and pulled it out, and when you pull that one out, another one drops. That's the only one I've ever seen of those.
I'll keep an eye out for them.
Yes, please do. And again, we have more Savage 28s, Auto Ordnance 28s, Colt 21s, and 28s.
See if I can get anything on the markings on this one.
Okay. And in the background, there's one of the leather scabbards, which is another. They run them on motorcycles and in vehicles both, but the Tommy gun just slid down in there.
Okay.
Going on down the line, we have a whole series of M1s. There's 128, and then all the rest of them are M1, M1A1s down through there.
Put real simple sights on this guy, didn't
Right. There was two different types of sights. This was the original sight that they started on them, but they got to bending them, so they went to what they call a protected rear sight, which would be this style. They also, even on the 28s, would put the cheaper sight because those are a lot cheaper to manufacture than the lineman flip-up rear.
Yeah.
Just because of cost cutting.
Right.
In the background, you'll see M2 carbines, French shotguns. That happens to be a Savage Stevens US. And then down towards the end, we have shot shells, which was for riot patrol and prison control, and then the shot shell pouches, and they took a different magazine because the shot shell was a different type of 45 cartridge, but it would cycle through the Thompson.
I never knew it took a different magazine. I'd seen boxes of shot shells, but that's something brand new to me.
No, they had their own shot shell magazine. Those two magazines in that pouch is probably $1,000 in today's market because there was not many of them made.
I'm going to keep an eye out for them too. And shot shell ammo. I didn't know there was this much variety. I've only seen one or two of these types of boxes.
Yeah, no, and again, some of our members collect ammo boxes, others collect magazines, others collect guns, others collect posters. We have a very diverse group here in our organization.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate it. I'm just going to pan down these things, the wonderful guns again, and some of the posters you got in the back.
Okay, thank you,
which
sir.
we didn't see, but thank you very much for your time. Here's some big posters in the back you can see. I don't know what to say about them. They're pretty self-explanatory. A lot of nice posters and pictures up there. Saturday Evening Post. Here's a picture at a training camp, I guess, U.S., because of the uniform. War Illustrated, that's British. I don't know who that is, that helmet. I mean, he could be Russian for all I know. Gas mask and Thompsons. Camouflage and Thompsons. Maybe they're Rangers. And there's a, I wonder if that's a Tommy with a Tommy gun. Looks like he's got a Piat, an anti-tank weapon. Kind of a primitive anti-tank weapon slung on his shoulder, and a Tommy gun, an M1. Now I know what an M1 is. That's one of them. Here's some more posters down here. Man looks very determined. Where is he? There's a very determined looking man. Popular Science, motorcycle Tommy gunner. Some other pictures, and there's the motorcycle machine gun corps, I guess. And then let's take one more quick pan down these wonderful guns. From the 21s to the 28s to the M1s to the 28 Navy overstamps, all the different kinds they've got. This is an extraordinarily rare assemblage of Thompson submachine guns. You'll rarely see any private or museum collection have this much Thompson stuff, material, I should say, in it. We didn't look too closely at that. There's a, what you call that, some web gear for the Thompson. And there they are again. 22 live Thompsons.